I used to think stress hallucinations were fake, a convenient excuse, a catch-all for things you couldn't explain when you were too tired or too scared. But after what happened last semester, I know better. I go to a small university in Vermont, one of those historic ones, with ivy-strangled walls, crumbling statues, and dorm rooms that creak even when nobody's moving. I'm a junior, majoring in psychology, or I was. I'm not sure if former student is even the right title for someone like me now. It started around midterms. I was pulling late nights in the library like everyone else, cramming for behavioral neuroscience, sleep-deprived, over-caffeinated, the works. The first time I saw the shadows, I thought it was just the usual brain static. Shapes flitting at the edges of vision, tricks of the mind. Only, they stayed. It was always when I was alone, sitting in the library's back corner, walking the dark quad at night, brushing my teeth in the empty bathroom at 2 a.m. I'd catch a glimpse of something just out of focus, tall, thin, twisted wrong, like it had too many joints, and watching me. I'd whirl around, heart pounding, and nothing, just empty air. At first, it was easy to rationalize. Stress, bad lighting, fatigue. I even joked about it with my roommate, Connor. Man, I'm so fried I'm seeing shit. Connor laughed. Bro, you're gonna pull a shining on us if you keep this up. But after a few days, I stopped laughing. Because they got bolder. It wasn't just at night anymore. I'd be sitting in class, fighting to stay awake during some dull lecture, and I'd see something reflected in the glass windows, a jagged silhouette crouching in the back of the room, or walking past the door. No one else reacted. No one else even looked up. One night, around 3 a.m., I was heading back to my dorm from the 24-hour study lounge when I heard footsteps behind me, soft at first, then heavier, faster. I turned around. Empty sidewalk, except for the dark puddle of something on the ground. It wasn't water. It wasn't anything I could describe. It was like shadow given weight, pressed flat against the bricks, writhing. I ran. By the time I got back to the dorm, I was gasping, heart hammering, like it wanted out of my chest. I locked the door, pushed a chair under the handle. Didn't sleep that night. Connor noticed. Dude, you look like shit. You good? I told him everything. The shadows, the footsteps, the thing on the ground. He stared at me for a long time, tapping his pen against the table. Man, maybe you need to talk to someone. You think I'm crazy. No, he sighed. Look, sleep deprivation can cause, psychotic symptoms. Paranoia, hallucinations, all that crap. I had this buddy in high school. Stayed up for 4 days on Adderall and Monster. Swore he saw demons. I wanted to believe him. God, I wanted to believe him. But then people started disappearing. First was Julia Martinez. She lived on the floor below us, last seen leaving a party off campus. Never made it back. Then Devin Kim. Missed 3 classes in a row. His roommate said Devin went for a smoke break and just never came back. Campus police shrugged it off. Parties, drugs, voluntary leave. But I knew better, because both of them had complained in the weeks before they vanished about weird shadows following them. I overheard Julia telling a friend in the cafe, I swear, it was right behind me last night. Right there. But when I turned around, gone. Devin, too, muttering to himself one night as he stumbled back to the dorms. Not real. Not real. Just tired. Just gone. I couldn't ignore it anymore. The shadows were real, and they were hunting. I tried to tell someone. The campus shrink sat there, wringing my hands, while she smiled kindly and wrote down sleep-deprived in her notes. You're under a lot of stress, Alex. It's normal to experience visual disturbances. Normal. When I left her office, I saw one standing right outside. Not a glimpse, not a trick of the eye. Full on, clear as day. It was wrong. It was shaped almost like a person, but bent sideways, limbs too long, head twisted at an impossible angle. And it smiled. I heard it. A thin, dry rasp. Soon. I ran. Again. I stopped going to class. Stopped sleeping. I stuffed towels under the dorm door. Taped blackout curtains over the windows. Left every single light on. Connor started avoiding me. Couldn't blame him. I looked like a madman. But even in my light-blasted room, even with music blaring to drown out the whispers, they found me. One night, Connor didn't come back. His stuff was still there. Laptop open. Bed unmade. But no Connor. They found his phone in the stairwell. Screen cracked. Last thing on it was a blurred selfie. Only it wasn't him taking the photo. He was in the photo. Behind him, that thing, grinning. Campus locked down after that. Curfews. Security patrols. Active investigation. Too late. Way too late. Because the shadows weren't just following anymore. They were taking. One by one, students vanished. Emma from chemistry, Josh from the debate team, Lizzie from the campus radio. No bodies, no blood, just gone, like they'd been erased. I packed a bag, screw finals, screw my scholarship. I was getting the hell out. I made it as far as the bus station. There were 3 other students there, waiting for the midnight Greyhound. I huddled on the bench, clutching my bag, scanning the dark corners. And that's when I saw it. Not one shadow, not 2, dozens, emerging from the tree line, crawling along the pavement, stretching thin black fingers toward the waiting students. They didn't see them, didn't hear the low, hungry moans that filled the air. I tried to scream, tried to warn them, but my voice, gone, frozen. The shadows reached them, touched them, and in a blink, they were gone. No sound, no struggle, just nothing. The bus pulled up moments later, empty, driver whistling, oblivious. I backed away, stumbled into the street, ran until my lungs burned. Now, I'm holed up in an abandoned frat house off campus. I've covered the windows with aluminum foil. The lights flicker sometimes, but I have backups. Flashlights, lanterns, glow sticks. I'm not sleeping. I've learned, if you sleep, they get in faster. I'm writing this down in case someone finds it. Maybe it's not just my school. Maybe it's everywhere. Maybe it starts with 1 or 2, a student here, a missing person there, and then it spreads. Maybe the shadows are always hungry. Maybe... Wait, the lights just went out. They're scratching at the door. I can see something under the crack. Dark fingers. They're here.